In our neighborhood under Ward 4, we are excited to have our alley repaired. It is officially the first day of summer, and we have wonderful weather to start the AlleyPalooza. We look forward to the success, and in keeping with our neighborhood style, we wish you much success, and other alleys are identified for repair work throughout the various wards in the District of Columbia. Welcome, Mayor Muriel Bowser, and thank you.
Thank you, Dot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to AlleyPalooza. This is our 9th AlleyPalooza. And just to remind you what AlleyPalooza is, we started this in year number 1 of my first term. And AlleyPalooza is a summer effort. We identify 8 alleys in each of the wards, so 64 alleys. And DDOT paloozas them, fixes them in 8 weeks or close to 8 weeks. And we found out in our first AlleyPalooza that DDOT was working so efficiently that they could actually do 2 sets in each summer construction season. So AlleyPalooza number 9, 64 alleys, and number 10, we will come back to the community and announce then. We're joined today by our council member for Ward 4, Brandon Todd, the director of DDOT, Jeff Marudian, and members of the DDOT team, our construction partners, and as you heard, our neighbors. Today, we are closing out a week-long focus on basic city services, or Back to Basics Week. We've talked about crosswalks and summer meals and a host of activities that our 30,000 plus employees focus on each and every day. The idea is that neighbors don't worry or think about these things each and every day, but members of our government team do. We are over 700,000 people in the district now, and that means our roads and alleys see increased traffic. And when I became mayor, I made the commitment to invest more in our streets, alleys, and sidewalks. So in addition to focusing on alleys, we introduced a couple of budgets ago a plan called Pave DC, which is also focused on how we can make sure all of our local streets, in addition to our alleys, are in a state of good repair. Since launching AlleyPalooza in 2015, we've repaired or reconstructed a total of 557 alleys across all 8 wards. And because of this initiative and our hardworking men and women at DDOT, today roughly 75% of our alleys are in good condition. And so now, as we get ready to kick off AlleyPalooza number 9, we know that we're chipping away at all of the bad alleys, and we will be at 100% in the very near future. So with that, let me introduce Jeff Marudian, followed by our council member, and Jeff is going to talk to you in some detail about AlleyPalooza number 9.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Mayor Bowser. Thank you for your leadership, for your continued support of DDOT, and for creating AlleyPalooza. I also want to thank Councilmember Todd for being here and for being such a strong advocate for infrastructure work all across the ward. As Mayor Bowser mentioned, with AlleyPalooza 9, we will repair a total of 64 alleys across all 8 wards this summer. As of today, we have repaired 557 alleys through our previous AlleyPalooza campaigns, and we aren't done. Under Mayor Bowser's leadership, we are rebuilding our infrastructure from alleys to sidewalks to roadways. And I'm proud to say that we are on track to bring our infrastructure into a state of good or excellent repair. We want residents to follow along with AlleyPalooza 9 and with the rest of our paving projects, whether it's on social media or on the Pave DC interactive maps that are available on our website at ddot.dc.gov/pavedc. Pave DC is a real-time account of what we are doing and where. I want to thank all of our team members who work so tirelessly to make all of this infrastructure work possible. Our infrastructure program, roads, alleys, sidewalks, is managed by a cross-section of DDOT employees who review 311 requests and service requests, they develop the schedule, and then they actually work together to perform the work. This is truly a team effort, and it couldn't be done without their hard work. Residents, neighbors also play a key role in the process by reporting alleys, roadways, and sidewalks that are in disrepair. Thank you in advance for your patience as we work through the AlleyPalooza campaign and continue to execute on Mayor Bowser's vision for building a reliable and safe infrastructure for all Washingtonians. It's now my pleasure to turn it over to Councilmember Brandon Todd.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brandon Todd, and I represent Ward 4 in the Council of the District of Columbia, and I am just thrilled that Mayor Bowser is kicking off AlleyPalooza number 9 in Ward 4. Let's hear it for AlleyPalooza number 9. As the Ward 4 council member, I love infrastructure investments, and there is nothing more important to residents than a new alley, new sidewalks, new roadways, and tree trimming. And I think DDOT, our District Department of Transportation, does a really, really fantastic job at all of those things. And I want to thank you, Mayor, for your commitment to being innovative with programs like AlleyPalooza so that we can get all of our alleys in a state of good or excellent repair, as the DDOT director said. I want to acknowledge the leadership of the 16th Street Neighborhood Association, Mr. Jack Campbell, and you heard from the treasurer a few moments ago. And thank you to neighbors for being here, and thank you to the District Department of Transportation for your commitment in making sure that our city's infrastructure continues to improve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, our team is about to get started on this alley, and why don't I take your questions now, and then we can go look at the alley. Questions? Sure.
Other things?
Sure, both.
Okay, well, Councilmember Jack Evans' house was raided this morning. Obviously, the feds are they're stepping the situation up. We've been talking about this all week. Your reaction today to what you've learned?
Well, I'll say, Sam, and I think I speak for everybody who watched this morning's events, that we are definitely disappointed and very concerned about the very serious allegations that were made this week. We saw a report that outlined some very troubling activities. Over the last months, I have definitely encouraged the council member to deal with these allegations, address them head on. I have also encouraged all the investigative bodies to do their work and to get it done. We know that our BEGA, our Board of Ethics and Government Accountability, referred the matter to federal authorities some months ago. And as you mentioned, it looks like the investigation is proceeding.
Surprise you, Mayor?
I'm sorry?
Are you surprised by the stuff that's been coming out this week?
I'm disappointed by it, Sam. All of us as public officials are called to uphold the public's trust, to put the voters and the needs and the priorities of the District of Columbia first. And the allegations go right at the heart of public trust. I think that, and I will say, I've learned this week because a report came out that I didn't even know existed, that I want to make sure that I have all facts and information before speaking about that.
There are council members who are calling for him to be censured and calling him to be removed from any committees. What are your thoughts on those moves?
Well, I'm not on the council anymore, but certainly the council, in addition to our Board of Ethics and Government Accountability, both have investigative power. The council has the ability to also issue sanctions, and I believe that that's the direction that they're heading.
Do you believe the council should do their own independent investigation?
I think the council can do that, Mark. I think, though, that the federal investigation and the BEGA investigation should proceed, because that's going to be the last word.
Can you tell us what you talked
Councilmember Evans the last time you spoke to him and what you told him, what advice you've been giving him?
I talked to Councilmember Evans yesterday. I wouldn't say that I gave him any advice, but I did want to hear from him what his next steps would be regarding the Metro Board and the admissions that he'd made. And he resigned from the board sometime later that day.
Could you talk a little bit about the public trust, how important it is that a public official keep the public trust?
It's really the most important obligation that we make to the people who elect us. They want to know that we are going to take care of their business and that we are going to do it with them at the top of our minds. So it's the most important commitment we make.
Does he still enjoy your full faith and confidence?
What I will say, Mark, is it's very, very disappointing and troubling. I'm upset about what I read because I do think it represents conflicts of interest for the council member. But I want the federal authorities to do their work. Yep. I was.
To some degree, at least in the press, you have been portrayed as a person who stood by him. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that I have to act on the information that I have, and I relied on a piece of information that came out that the matter had been resolved, and it looks like it was much deeper than what that statement reflected.
Do you feel like the council member has lied to you or misled you or the public in any way? I mean, he stood in front of cameras the other day and said that the Metro Board had found no wrongdoing, and then he walked that back.
I'm a little perplexed by the actions of that committee, I have to tell you, because it was a lot. It seemed to be a lot of back and forth. I think just days ago I was under the impression that there was no report, and there was a report. The committee didn't act. The board didn't act. So I think that we have a set of findings in front of us that I think that probably we should have known about earlier.
Some have said that this hurts Metro's image and may hurt Metro in terms of getting the financing it needs. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I actually think that this is quite apart from the tremendous work that has been done at Metro. If I've been criticized, it's that I've said that Councilmember Evans did the work of the district in helping to secure the region in funding Metro's future, and that is the case. He probably made some enemies along the way, but I think that Metro has done a good job in securing the region's support for the things that it needs to have a state of good repair and to grow. But that work has to continue. We have, as a region, added 500 new millions of dollars to the Metro capital plan. And it's very important that the district has a strong voices at the table.
So you don't think this is going to hurt Metro going forward?
I don't see why it would. I do think that they are going to have to button up some of their policies and practices around this. Hopefully they'll never have to encounter it again, but if they do, they need some more buttoned up policies and practices.
Councilmember Todd, can we hear from you on this? Your colleagues have called for him to be censured, for him to be removed from his committee. What would you like to see happen?
Well, as everyone knows, I think we have learned more information this morning and yesterday than we had last week and earlier this week. I would support the council setting up an ad hoc committee to look into this, just so that we can have a clear understanding of what exactly is out there.
Support him being censured by the council?
I support the council setting up a process and an ad hoc committee.
Should he be removed from his committees?
At this point, I support the council setting up a process where we can get all of the information that we need, because just as was said earlier, there's a set of information that wasn't available on Monday that was available on Wednesday, and this is Friday, and we have even more information. So I don't know what else is out there, and I want to be able to make an informed decision on behalf of the people that I represent.
One other thing here. Obviously, this came out because the governor of Maryland insisted on information. And what about What about that? I mean, do you support the fact that the governor insisted on this information? Because otherwise, we probably wouldn't have known anything.
I think we will know everything we need to know with the federal investigation, actually, Sam. And I don't, again, I'm a little troubled by the process by which the committee acted. I don't know what the governor knew before he made that statement. Perhaps he knew more than we knew. And I think the bottom line is we have a report from the law firm, not from the committee or not from the board, but from the law firm, and it lays out a series of very disturbing allegations. Thank you.